Yo, what's up guys, Fuffalo here with another video. Today, it's a little different, okay? Today, I'm making Loki a guide video on Heian, okay? This game has been really fun recently, and right now I am decently high ranked in like the rank mode, okay? I would say decently high ranked is anything above 300 right now, and I'm actually 350. I would say the middle order players anywhere from like 300 to like 600. Like the players are good, and I would say like the average players around anywhere from 50 to about 200. Okay, now I do play ice technique with DFS. Okay, however I do have a little bit of tips and tricks for you guys, so make sure you watch the video all the way through, because this is mainly a PvP guide on the basics of Heian. Okay, as the testing area kind of comes to a close, I kind of want to make a little video on this game before, you know, my rights to play this game have been removed. Now, the first thing is one thing I do want anyone to, you know, really pick up is to never give your opponent any room to breathe, okay? This is very important, as I see it especially a lot in lower elo, as I see my friends play, is that they'll back up and start charging their cursed energy, or they'll like, let's say I'm fighting this person right here, and then I get comboed, or I run out of cursed energy, I'll start running away and charge my cursed energy, and it kind of leaves you a little vulnerable. So especially if your opponent has more of a passive playstyle, I would say personally you should probably not give them any room to breathe, okay? Giving them room to breathe is low-key one of the worst things you can do, because you'll let them recharge their cursed energy and get off of cooldowns, and if your opponent feels really overwhelmed, they just won't be able to fight back. I would say your main thing is keeping track of your cursed energy. Your health doesn't really matter in this game, be really honest. Now, I know that sounds really bad, like in retrospect. Like me personally, I go 50 vitality on my build, because in my opinion, I don't think vitality is that important. Now, if you're absolutely dogging your opponent, I usually don't get below anywhere between like, I guess 2.5 bars, honestly, in most of my fights. And if I'm versing a good player, I'll get either really low or I end up losing anyways, and they'll be really low. So I would say your main thing is really just to focus on how much damage you're doing and not how much damage you're not taking, if that makes sense. I guess tip number 3 is mainly I would focus more on like laning black flashes. Black flashes is one of the best things you can do in this game. It does a crap ton of damage, and honestly, it's so OP, because like 2 black flashes, let's say you know how to chain black flashes, which I might make a guide video on that, or I might showcase it in a different video. But if you learn how to chain black flashes, it is one of the most OP techs in this game right now. I don't know if it's really talked about, but you can chain black flashes, especially off of landing an uppercut, or after I guess stun locking your opponent. You pretty much, let's say you're really low cursed energy and you land a divergent fist, you'll pretty much be able to black flash them and then black flash them again off the black flash. So it's kind of hard to read after getting hit by a black flash, as your camera shakes a lot and it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. So I recommend like chaining black flashes, okay? That's like one of the most OP techs in this game, and your bar will go from like here all the way up to like here, and then you can land a move like iceberg or whatever technique you're using. Tip number 4, which is not really more of a tip but more like advice, or like more what you would see, is I would learn to fight against Limitless and Shrine, as Limitless and Shrine, it's one of the most popular curse techniques in ranked right now, at least in higher elo. Okay, there's like this is the 5 main techniques you'll probably see in higher elo ranked. You'll either see Ice Formation, Shrine, Auspicious Beast, Limitless, or Sword Saint. Okay, these are the most popular curse techniques right now, as of the recording of this video, obviously. So you should really learn how to play against these styles, okay? People who play Limitless and Shrine usually have 80 cursed energy, so they can get maximum output. Now, I recommend, if you are low vitality like I am, it doesn't even matter, because I used to have an 80 vitality. When versing Limitless and Shrine, obviously they have to be full cursed energy to charge maximum output. So playing really aggressive and not giving them any room to breathe, like how I showed how I explained earlier in the video, is really good, because they won't be able to charge for maximum output. And what I've seen so far, people who do just try and charge maximum output is that they'll just S hold the whole time and dash and run away, and then try and hold for maximum output the whole time. And what you could do is you could just chase them with moves that, you know, with techniques that actually catch, like splitting blade, or if you're using ratio, you can use some of those moves, or you can use crushing advance if you are using that technique, which I don't really recommend. But you can really just chase them with dashes as well. Having 0 agility doesn't really matter because you're still really fast as long as you're above 2.5 bars. So, or above 2 bars, sorry. So you can just chase them and then they won't be able to charge it. But if they do charge maximum output, make sure you're trying to play really aggressive, because you're really easy to punish if you're playing passively or defensively with the 2-bar moves. And same goes for Mythical Beast Amber. Now, the mode for Mythical Beast Amber, or I guess I'll be calling it NBA from now on. NBA is good, however, it's only good in my opinion on light builds, because the lightning thing where you'll like proc that lightning explosion every M1. The mode is really bad. Okay, if you're using that technique, do not use the mode at all. In my opinion, it's the worst thing in the technique, because what most people do and what I do is I just run away from them, because they do like 2 to 3 bars. I'll put a clip up on the screen. They do so much damage with their moves that there's no point on fighting them fairly. So running away from them, they'll eventually die. I think after a minute of their mode, they die, or they become one-shot if they're not low enough. And so, in my opinion, I would say just run away from them. I guess they're getting a little bit off topic, but I do think the modes like Limitless and Shrine, and then we have NBA. I would say those are the worst things to deal with right now when it comes to getting punished really badly. So I would watch out for that. And another thing I want to really put out there is I want you to be always like that, spamming Q, okay, your roll and right click. Now, if you haven't noticed so far, when fighting other players, is that when they're fighting you, now I'll show this off right now, but you want to be spamming dodge, because in a fight, you'll always pretty much, you'll be able to catch off your opponent. Oh, he's playing Limitless. In a fight, you'll always be able to like punish your opponent for like not being able to read your moves. Also, another thing I want to, as you can see, like I'm dodging around him, and it's pretty hard for him to react to me. I'm gonna pop ice break. Okay, dodge that. I messed up my chain. But as you can see, it's really hard for him to read my moves because I'm dashing around him. So you want to always be moving, and as you can see, I'm not even charging my cursed energy. And another thing I will get into when charging cursed energy is you can charge it in their face and then just parry them, and you'll most likely have enough cursed energy to just play super aggressive. GG to this guy, by the way. But yeah, you'll be able to play super aggressive around people, and whenever they go to charge their cursed energy, you can just, for example, let's say I'm charging my cursed energy in his face. He's gonna try and like stop me from charging my cursed energy, obviously. So you want to parry. You could just charge it, and then when they go to attack, you just parry it, and you can charge it again. It's easily the best way, in my opinion, to really play aggressively and still be unpunished on your cursed energy. But another thing I want to get into is aerial combos. Okay, I think you should master aerial combos, because aerial combos are easily the most important thing in this game. Now you should probably always be trying to go for an aerial, because they're super hard to read, as in the moves. They're super hard to parry, in my opinion. I'd say it's the best way to win a fight is by spamming aerials. Unlike a game like Deep Broken, okay, uppercuts don't really do that much. I mean, they're good mix-up, but after you uppercut it, it's really easy to, like, I guess, parry or get out of a combo. But in this game, as you will probably come to notice as you're progressing, or as you're just playing, like fighting people or whatever it may be, the uppercut combos in this game is absolutely insane. Okay, so I just want to put out there that you should probably spam a bunch of up tilts, okay, Up tilting is easily the best thing in this game, especially if you have a lot of fast cast mantras, or sorry for counter mantras, guys. Techniques. You can uppercut and then be in the combo, okay? And also spam down slam. Down slam is super underrated in my opinion. Like jumping in general, you have to hold spacebar and M1. So let's say you're trying to go for a down slam and you just can't quite get it. You can actually land free M1s you probably wouldn't have gone for. Okay, that's just my I guess my own personal tech in a way. I'll be dashing around people, spamming jump to proc down slam because it's hard to parry, it's hard to read, and it can probably even land extend into other combos. Okay, I actually got into a match. I'm gonna just leave this as like, I guess I'll be playing ranked as I explain some of these things, but I guess as background footage since I don't really want to be doing nothing. I versed this guy before. He's pretty good. As you see, the aerial combos are super hard to read. So yeah, that's just another technique that I think that you should probably master when playing Heian, okay? Also, I would think finding a really good weapon that fits your playstyle is really important as well as your techniques that fits your playstyle perfectly. If you don't have a technique that you like, you're probably not gonna perform well. The next thing I want to talk about is your techniques. Okay, there's some techniques you probably shouldn't run in this game, if I'm gonna be really honest. I would obviously you can look at a guide like for curse techniques, like techniques that you unlock. However, the main techniques in the game that you will see in the technique menu when pressing M, there's some that you probably shouldn't go. Now, in my opinion, some techniques just based on cost or other factors, I would just say they just aren't worth going. An example of this is pretty much any of the strength talents. Now, I'm not sure if for heavy, necessarily any of the styles are really good. However, I know for medium and especially light, most of the strength techniques aren't really that good slash worth going for. Especially the 41. I can't remember the name as we're recording this video, but I'm pretty. If you play Heian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the grab that I put up on the screen. It's the grab that like is like kind of like a guard break, I think, but it's supposed to be like unblockable, but it's completely blockable. Like to be honest, I don't really understand the point of moves with like the deep woken like unblockable sound if they don't do anything, but hey, I didn't make this game, so I'm not gonna question on it. But some techniques just aren't really that good, as they kind of just like they aren't really good at PvP, like Rising Fist and monsters like that, where you just don't really. At least when I used them, because I used to run a really high strength build before I swapped over my build. Me personally, from experience, I would say that some techniques are just not worth going at all, as you don't see yourself using them. So if you ever like run a build and you end up not using technique for whatever reason that may be, I would recommend kind of like avoiding them, kind of like the plague, honestly. So I would say it's really important to really find what resonates with you, honestly. Unlike Deep Woken, I wouldn't say there's like a meta build. Now, there are weapons that are just insanely good right now that most people should be running. However, I do think you should find what fits your playstyle the most. You know, there's not gonna be like, oh, the best high-end builds or the best build ever, but it's just whatever you find fun, okay? So I recommend you test around and see what you like the most. I'm really messing up on these double black flashes, but I'm sorry for the pause. Another thing to note is, I guess, sorry, okay, so I'm sorry guys, I had to lock in for a second, but baiting parries is insanely, like, in my opinion, broken, as especially in uppercut combos, you can just extend so easily. I would say it's really good because when you bait their parry, they literally, for some reason, unlike Deep Woken, you can't really like block after a parry. As you can see, like there's like a little bit of like a end lag to your block, as you see. Like if this guy lets me, like, you see how there's like an end lag to your block. So in combos, unlike Deep Woken, where you would get like guard broken in the air, especially if whenever you like go for a parry, you don't necessarily block, so people could just hit you through that, and it's kind of hard to like defend against stuff like that. I think that's pretty much most of my advice, honestly. I would say you'll learn most of the what curse techniques do and how, and like find your own little good playstyle against it. However, I do think there's some playstyles where you'll end up actually playing a little too defensively, and there's not really techniques I really recommend. In the end, it's all subjective, you know. It wouldn't be a fun game if there's only like 2 things you can go to have fun in this game. That kind of defeats the point. So go out there, have fun while you still can. I'm pretty sure at the end of Sunday, so pretty much Monday, is the end of the open testing. So if you haven't already played this game, go ahead and, you know, give it a try. This game's actually really fun. I find myself playing it a lot. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed, you know? Let me actually whoop this guy's butt real quick. Flash, I'm in that, and I in the second one. Oh, he dodged away from it. It might be low curse energy. Alright, we dodged that. Nice. Crosscom, we could low-key win that. Oh, okay, it's okay. Down slam, nice. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, this is the move I'm talking about, by the way, the grab move. Ow. He's not using maximum output shrine. Okay, GG. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, okay? Make sure you like, subscribe if you want to. If not, it's okay. The game link will be in the description. He got back up. I was just trying to talk to him. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Guys, I wasn't able to actually close out the video, okay? Hope you guys have a good day and night wherever you are. And yeah, goodbye.